All right. So the FDA considered Juuling to be an epidemic amongst teens.
I mean, it is.
It's not that bad.
Have you gone to a high school ever?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see the, did you hear from Jake where he talked about how in the bathroom there's a bunch of posters up that say this is not a vaping zone?
Okay, well that's fucking gay. Because obviously it is a vaping zone if you have to put up a sign.
You think about it though, there's more people smoking now than
That's
ever.
not true though. Because like people used to smoke in the bathrooms back when my parents were in school.
Yeah, but back when my parents were in school, you know, you could smoke in class. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, but like everyone's smoking. I think that we just figured out a way for it to be slightly less harmful as far as we know.
Right.
So then we just all flocked to it. Because back in their day, it was like smoking. No, it's not a bad idea.
Right.
It's not a bad thing to do.
It's just something that people do and have done for millennia.
I like how we're both like teenage years and smoking while doing this podcast.
Well, you know, we got to be quality controlled, right?
Yeah. Not like anything that the opposing side says is hypocritical at this point. No, but FDA say it wants to be a popular e-cigarette brand, Juul, and other companies to get a better... Okay, so they want to be better at preventing kids from vaping.
Well, they are better at preventing kids from vaping.
Well, I mean, yeah, I went on Juul Talk too because they gave me a $20 gift card on Amazon. Like, yeah, it encouraged me to buy more... What, it was like $13 at the time, packs of mango pods, just because they'd have $20 gift cards, and I'd make a bullshit email each time.
Yeah, well, shit happens, you know?
Shit does happen. As a former smoker who used to use e-cigarettes to quit, this is bullshit. I was vaping early. I was an early adopter of vaping, and braved rumors of popcorn lung and exploding e-cigarette batteries to quit nicotine altogether. I tried everything: cold turkey, nicotine patches, gum. Vaping was the only thing that worked. Technically, you're not quitting smoking, right? Like, you're quitting smoking cigarettes, but you're not quitting smoking.
Right. I'd rather Juul than smoke a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, same here. But I mean, then again, we're probably smoking heavier than if we smoke cigarettes.
We get more nicotine, but if we smoke cigarettes, we'd smoke like a pack a day. Not good.
That is true. As a former smoker, this is bullshit. Yeah, whatever. Juul caught the FDA's brunt for judicial assault. Oh shit.
Yeah, the government does not like Juul.
I figured at this point. The FDA seems like they're fucking up.
If you think about it, they'd just gotten most people off of cigarettes, and they were like, alright, we finally beat smoking, let's focus on something else. And they turned their back for 10 minutes, and then half the country's addicted to a USB stick.
I mean, yeah, you go into university, you see everyone with their fucking... Everyone charges their Juul in class if you have a laptop. You at least see like 5 or 6, at least.
Why wouldn't you?
I mean,
It's
yeah,
convenient.
I do it. I do it. I'll be sitting in class and they'll be like, oh, is that yours?
Yeah.
No, I'm holding it for a friend. I'm charging it on my own laptop. I'm just being a good buddy, you know?
Right. I don't understand people who talk down on it like they believe they're better than people who do, which most people don't. I'm not saying that's the thing.
But like the tweets that are like, "Oh, life sucks, but at least I'm not addicted to nicotine through a USB stick."
Right.
Like, yeah, you're probably addicted to dip or some other shit.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you drink so much caffeine that you can't live without it?
Yeah. I'm sorry you go home and drink a 30-pack every night. We all get our things.
Yeah. I'm sorry you compulsively masturbate to Sasha Grey every night, but who's talking, right? I'm just addicted to a USB stick.
Can we talk about how there's people at our school who look like Sasha Grey?
Oh my god. It's so weird.
It's not cool.
You can't even look her in the eyes without seeing the cum shots from past lives.
She's just reincarnated. It's terrifying. She got reincarnated as a college student.
At a prestigious school.
Yes, at a very prestigious school for engineers.
That may be in a Midwestern state.
Yeah. Figure it out. Go for it.
Yeah. To be clear, the FDA has a responsibility to keep the public safe. The stores should not sell nicotine products to minors. Well, they're not selling them to minors.
No.
Like, if you're trying to... Like, I would get carded every single time.
Okay, if you think about it, it's the same thing that used to happen when people smoked cigarettes.
Yeah, you just stand outside, hey, can you buy me a pack of cigarettes?
Sure.
Fuck it, I don't care.
Right.
I'm not fucking up my life.
You get your friends to do it for you. If you have friends over 21, they buy you alcohol. It's not...
It's how things work.
You're not stopping anyone by putting an age limit on it.
Yeah, I'm sorry that 2 people in the FDA are top ranking are like, I never smoked. I will never smoke. Because I'm a good kid.
Right.
Or I'm a good adult.
They just never got around to it. They didn't have any friends as a kid.
I don't know. I mean, if you're not smoking, if it's like a personal choice, or like if someone in your family had cancer, I could see that.
Good for you. Honestly, I applaud everyone who's not smoking.
Yeah, or if someone's like, hey, like, do you want to hit my Juul? And they're like, no, like, I don't smoke. Like, some people will be like pushy, like, nah, dude, like, you have to try it. Like, no, you don't.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Like, oh shit, you don't smoke? Cool. I wish I started that in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't have box mods in high school.
The whole... you know, the whole problem with it is it's too easily accessible, which no matter what they do, it's going to be easily accessible. It's honestly a conscious choice. You're either a person who's like, I don't care, or a person who's like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't discriminate the other people just because you're one.
If you're worried about the, like, handing off of it, you should probably be talking to gas station. Like, at Circle K, they'd card you every single time. Right. And then every other place is like, yeah, Circle K has a fuck ton of, like, revenue now. Because not only are they selling that, the person's going to not want to look sketch. They'll buy, like, a soda or a drink.
Right.
And just walk out. And then everyone else is like, yeah, I want that shit. So now there's a Juul on every street corner.
Right. You used to have to go to Circle K to get pods.
Oh my god,
now,
that's fucking terrible.
Now you can walk across the street to whatever gas station in the country and you're like, I know you have it.
Yeah, it's on the door. Like, all of them have it on the door. That's how prevalent it is. Just, boom, we have Juul. And you'll be like, alright, cool. Are you selling your starter pack for $20 or are you selling it for $35?
Are you selling it for $10?
Oh, yeah. That was the thing.
Good deal.
But when the FDA says it wants to render cigarettes minimally or non-addictive and encourage the development of innovative tobacco products that could currently help addicted adult smokers switch to potentially less harmful forms of nicotine delivery. Because technically, isn't this like a nicotine salt depository?
It really is. And I honestly think that all Juul needs to do is release pods with lower nicotine things, and it'll be done.
And my theory is, have you seen the new boxes? Mm-mm. How this says 5% on it?
Yeah.
Like, I think they're going to have like 3% and then 0%.
Yeah.
Or like 1.5%.
Something really small.
Progressively
so you
drop yourself.
Wean yourself off of it pretty easily.
I don't know. I was in a nicotine gum for a while. That was a ride.
Oh yeah, is it?
You chew like 6 pieces and you're just like, yes, finally.
Good God.
Yeah, I used to do that in French class.
Just throw on like a box of patches.
What
a day.
Just have them all over your legs. Just wear a pair of jeans.
I'm pretty sure no matter what the substance is, people are going to abuse it.
And of course, it's high school students. Like, they want to one-up their buddy.
Right.
Oh, you put on 7 patches? Well, I'm going to go 18.
Right. It's really not that big a deal. And I think, yeah, it's a lot of teens that are smoking, but I think as more people become progressive adults and realize they don't have money, people are going to stop smoking real fast.
Yeah, like my brother quit because, he had to pay an extra $50 a month on insurance. Yeah. And, like, he's like, I can afford it, but an extra $50 a month.
It'll tear you up. Yeah.
He tried to get Molly to quit, and Molly's like, fuck you. She's like, I don't have one, but I'll still hit it at a bar. Juul is a trendy vape that resembles a flash drive.
Oh, God. Stop reading the articles.
Dude, I think these people have just never seen one.
I think these people are concerned that their child is smoking.
Yeah, so were my parents. And they were like, you know what? Fuck it. There's no point.
Right.
Although Juul products, like most e-cigarettes, are made and marketed as such smoking alternatives, the device is increasingly popping up in high school and college campuses. The term Juuling often refers to recreational use.
I mean, why would you?
Why would you call it smoking if it's not?
Right.
Yeah. It's like saying, hey, do you want to go hit the vape in the parking lot? Like, no, that's fucking gay. Like, the whole point that vape is going down and Juul's going up is because, like, vape's been targeted as,
Awful.
oh, dude, you vape? Like, fucking really, man?
Right.
It's like, vape's gay or something.
At least Juuling has a little more, I don't know the word for it.
Like, it's hierarchy.
Prestigious.
Prestige.
It's much more prestigious. I'd rather be seen doing that.
Yeah. And plus, like, you can see everyone just kind of, like, put their hand up to their mouth and then, like, put it down and then just hold it in.
I also like it. It's a lot easier to conceal if you are self-conscious about it.
Yeah. Like, that's what's his name did. And, like, he's like, yeah, I can't hide a box mod from my mom, so I just hide a USB drive.
Right.
It's like, I can hide it in my pocket or whatever.
Much easier.
Yeah, it's like what it says right here. Because of their sleek design and resemblance to USB drives, Juul products are easy for students to conceal and use in school. Okay, first off, no one's using a fucking USB drive. Everything's on the cloud now.
I want to say...
Just put it in Dropbox or something.
Google Docs. That's
Google Docs, yeah.
I want to say, if I become a teacher, no kid is going to be Juuling in my classroom. Because I'm going to know. I'm going to be like, I see exactly what you're doing coughing over there.
At this point, it's probably going to be fucking blacklisted at that point.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Ashley Gould, Chief Administration of Juul Labs, says, first off, hands off to Ashley. Definitely made the mint pod taste better. Definitely made creme brulee hit harder. Created by two former smokers specifically and solely to keep adult smokers to quit. To be fair, on their website, it does explicitly say, don't use it if you're underage, and it's only targeted for adults who are smokers.
It's only targeted to people who smoked in the past.
Yeah, and especially on the box.
Right.
I remember whenever I first got mine, it said, alternative for whatever smokers, do not start, or it's something along the lines of, if you're not smoking right now,
don't start. Right. This is to help you get off.
And of course I'm like, nah, fuck it, I want to be cool. I'm ahead of the curve. She said, we really don't want kids using our product.
Oh.
No shit.
Welcome to everything ever.
Yeah. Julia's age, yeah, online it's 21 and older, and it's mostly just state laws for 18. Are e-cigs safe? Well, yeah, they're safer.
They're safer.
Yeah, it's like saying, what's the difference between eating a fucking hot dog that's like all beef or turkey dog?
Right.
Like, they're both shit for you. They're both, like, you're not gonna get what you need from a fucking hot dog.
Exactly.
Like, but it's cheaper than salmon. It is not fish. We just don't have a lot of information as to what keeps the harms potentially... Okay, so they don't know what the harms are going to be. And that's smart. I mean, you're in an opening... Like, you're in a foundation state. And you're trying to figure out, like, if an earthquake hits this shit, what's going to happen?
I mean, there's a chance Juul's going to get shut down. But honestly, if they shut it down, there's just going to be something else that pops up to take its place.
It's like whenever Twinkies weren't sold anymore. And then everybody and their fucking brother. First off, Juul pods are going to be like $50 a pack.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then next thing you know, they're going to be like vape shops selling Juul pods and other vape alternative things.
It's going to be things that are very similar to Juul pods, but aren't. And then it's just going to be a wreck and a mess until someone makes something else that resembles it slightly.
Yeah.
And then everyone will just switch to that.
Kids are...
I like how they always say it's kid-friendly. It's really not. It's just as friendly as everything else.
Does Juuling help you quit smoking? It's not clear. Well,
is it clear? I'm pretty sure it does.
I mean, I'd consider vaping and smoking in one. I mean, just the act of it. Like, just using a nicotine device to get some fucking nicotine in your blood.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better. It's like saying it's like the difference between smoking without a filter.
Right. It honestly is. It's not going to change anything. People are still going to get addicted to it. People still might get...
You're still getting the addictive chemical in you. But it's not a carcinogen by testing.
I mean, it's basically all controlled substances. I mean, a lot of things are addictive that people don't even know about. Like caffeine. Morphine. Yeah, that's right. You don't see people coming out of hospitals addicted to heroin, even though they should be, because they just had pure heroin pumped into their bloodstream.
Yeah, there was a TED Talk about that too, about people who get addicted to substances, and what they said was, and like, I forgot what the country was, but they gave them something to do, and they let them start their lives over instead of just putting them in prison and kind of fucking up their life.
It's and like in Canada, if you're addicted to heroin, you can go to they're like ER places, like I don't know what they're called, little private clinics ordeal, and they'll give you safe needles and safe heroin so you can wean yourself off of it. And addiction is more of a, it's hard to beat, but it's more of about where you are in your life.
Yeah.
Like a person who's depressed has a lot harder time kicking it than someone who's perfectly fine with their life.
Yeah.
Those are the people who can just stop and it doesn't bother them at all.
Yeah, like there's nothing to stop them from.
Right.
Like they don't have like a family and kids where they're like, okay, shit, I need to get it together because I need to watch Johnny graduate.
Right.
It's not like that. If you're just depressed, you're like, well, I can either beat off and watch Sasha Grey all day, or I can do some heroin and then beat off and watch Sasha Grey and have it like 10 times better.
Right. It's honestly more of a personal choice, which I know it's not a very popular opinion. People who are addicted to substances. I mean, I know people who've been addicted to substances, and I understand it's difficult, but it is doable.
It's doable, yeah.
I don't think Juul is something that a lot of people are going to stay addicted to for the rest of their life.
Yeah, like most people just throw their Juuls out their window on their Snapchat story.
And then they're done.
And then they quit.
It's not.
Except like they'll buy one after maybe, let's say, like 2 nights at the bar.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, it's not that hard to overcome.
I mean, the only reason I haven't quit is I don't have a reason to quit yet.
Yeah, like my brother, he didn't want to pay an extra $50 a month on top of paying for pods.
Right, and then you just stop.
Like shit, we're probably paying what, like 60 something a month for pods?
Nah, I don't know. Maybe you.
We do once. I mean, I do once every 3 to 4 days. So what? That's 10 times.
I usually go about a week, so I'm probably paying like, probably 30 or 40. Probably 50.
Yeah, I'm paying a good amount. And I just did the math in my head. That's not good. The original version of the story was misstated by the legal purchasing of a Juul. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's not that bad.
I feel like more people are becoming just aware of it and just being more accepting of it. Like they understand it's happening, and it probably shouldn't be happening, but it's happening, and there's not a lot you can really do about it other than what they are doing now, which I think they're doing fine. They're just slowing everyone down. Okay,
research from Truth Initiative shows that 25% of 15 to 24-year-old Juul users refer to their behavior as Juuling.
I mean,
okay, that's a low ball. That's a low ball.
100% of people refer to it as Juuling.
I don't know. Actually, I know a few people who just call it smoking. Well, I would say at least 80% call it Juuling.
Yeah, it's. I mean, where are you getting these articles? Is the real question.
This one's Cook Children's.
I guarantee you're not going to find anything on the internet
that hasn't been said from the same fucking interview.
No, that hasn't been said from the same interview. That isn't against it. That isn't like this is the devil's spawn. Because those are the people who go on the internet and talk about it. If you don't have a problem with it, you're not going to go on the internet and defend it.
Well, yeah,
because you don't see the problem.
It's like most conservatives, like during the whole liberal like fucking uproar, they were like, well, it's not really my problem, I don't need to talk about it. But then the one person who did, well, a few people like Milo and Ben, they were like, okay, like what you guys are doing is kind of shitty. Like, you're just calling people out for the hell of it. There's no reason to call someone
It's
out.
a lot
if there's no
like
reason.
the 2016 election, because Hillary Clinton was so far projected to win, but that was just because the people who went to the polls were her supporters. The Democrats, they were the ones who went to the polls and were talking out against her.
Yeah.
And then when everyone else voted, all those Republicans who just hadn't voted in polls, hadn't said anything, hadn't done anything about it, just went out, voted Republican like they always do, and left. And then you realize, oh my God, there was a silent million people who just never said anything, and that's the reason.
Millions. Shit.
It's crazy.
The scary part is kids may not even be aware what they're inhaling when they Juul. Actually, I'm pretty sure we all know what we're doing.
Yeah.
You Juul, you're like, okay, this is nicotine. It's like basically the rundown anyone gives you if you haven't done it. It's nicotine.
You're gonna get addicted, not right away. You're gonna get addicted if you continue to do it.
Yeah, if you do it more than, let's say, like 4 to 6 times.
I like to say, people always talk about it's that the people going in don't know what they're getting into. Well, here's the deal. That first time you smoke is going to be awful, and then you'll get a buzz, and then you'll realize, oh, this is why literally everyone in their brother smokes. This is why people for thousands of years have been smoking, because it feels nice.
Yeah.
It feels good. It makes you more calm and peaceful, and then everyone's just like, well, it can't be that bad. It outweighs the counterparts.
Yeah, like, I remember talking to my mom, and like, so my dad quit smoking for a while, ended up dipping. I had no clue what either of those things were, like why you do them. And then you just hear it from DARE, it's an addictive chemical. They never tell you about the buzz.
No, they don't. Well, you shouldn't.
You shouldn't, you shouldn't be like, yeah, drinking makes people happy. I don't know why. Like,
we don't understand how it works. I'm sure someone out there understands how it works, but it just releases endorphins in your brain.
Well, it's
makes you feel good, and then you're like, well, I might as well keep doing it. You're not so much as addicted to the chemical as you are addicted to the feeling.
Actually, we can Google it.
Why is nicotine such a great object? I like.
All right, so
the second most Googled thing on there is, why does nicotine make me poop? Thank you.
Well, it's actually a natural laxative.
Thank you to people.
Tobacco makes you poop. I remember that because after work in the 8th grade, me and Zach smoked a pack, and afterwards he's like, I got a shit, and I was like, yeah, me too. And he's like, all right, cool. And then, okay, so basically, nicotine will give you brief improvements because it'll hit the receptors of your brain to make you feel better. So basically, it causes dopamine to flood.
Yeah,
it's like any other addictive chemical.
Puts endorphins in your brain, and your brain gets addicted to those endorphins.
And then you have a chemical dependency because you don't know how to live without it. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to go for a run.
Right.
Like, whenever I'm angry, I'll go for a run or I'll go for a workout. And then after that, I'll be like, well, fuck, I'm bored.
Right. It's like nowadays everyone is addicted to digital technology. They're addicted to media and being connected.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Being on your phone gives you, because you can do the littlest thing and you'll get instant gratification for it.
Oh, yeah.
So nowadays, going out and trying to read a book or whatever, do something, it takes longer, it's harder to do, and your brain doesn't like that.
Yeah.
Because you are used to your phone, you're used to your laptop, whatever.
You're used to looking up what you want and getting it immediately.
You're used to getting it immediately, which makes everything else just ridiculously more difficult to do. Like, I tried to, just doing homework is awful.
Yeah, because...
It's awful because you have to spend more than 10 seconds doing it, which it makes me sound like an asshole. But I can pull up my phone right now, Google the answer, and I'll be done in 10 seconds flat. And I get that release in my brain saying, all right, you're done, good for you.
You go to test.
You go take a test. You're locked in a room for 2 hours, and you don't get that till the end.
And it's not even gratification. It's dread.
It's more of a fear, right? And it just makes everything a lot more difficult. Even driving if I have to drive anywhere that's over 10 minutes, I immediately just don't want to do it. Everything is a chore. Literally everything now is a chore.
Yeah, and then I think the main part about it was Like, for phones, unlike Juuling, you don't know what you're getting into.
Right.
Like, you think, oh, everyone's on their phone, it's cool.
Right.
But, like, you can check, like, what iOS 12 did with their screen time.
Right. You can.
I looked at it. I was at dinner one night, and I looked at it, and it said, like, you have 800 Snapchat notifications a day. You're on Snapchat 3 hours a day plus. And then you look at, like, your overall screen time. Like, I'll be sitting here listening to, like, YouTube music. So I've been on my phone for, 8 to 9 hours a day.
Right.
You don't even realize it.
I've been noticing lately that I don't use my phone that much compared to other people. Like, hold on, I can pull up my screen time here, but I've only been on my phone. Well, hold on. In the last week, I average about 6 hours a day on my phone, which sounds like a lot, but from what I hear, a lot of other people are averaging like 10 to 12 hours a day. You know, most of their time is spent on their phone, and I notice it because I didn't get a phone until I was 14 or 15, and I didn't get an iPhone until I was 15 or 16. So I never had that urge to just check everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I notice in class people are on their phones, or they're talking in a conversation. If the conversation is a lull, people check their phone. I don't have that instinct to do that.
Yeah.
So I will notice, and I'll look around, and everyone around me will be on their phones.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, is this what we do now?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Like, we could be watching a movie and someone loses interest. Let's say it's me, you, Gus, and Becker.
Right.
Like, all three of you, let's say you'll be on Pokemon Go, Gus will be reading some stupid article, and then Alex will be on Reddit.
Alex will start doing something else. He doesn't get on his phone a lot. He'll pull out his laptop and start doing something else.
Yeah, like he'll either be coding or...
It's still he's addicted
it's the
to
mindset.
Media. Right. If you, nowadays, it used to be that if you were bored doing something, you just kept doing it because there was literally nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you're bored doing something, you pull out your phone, there is millions of other things to do.
Yeah.
You can do anything on your phone.
You can be on your laptop writing a paper. I catch myself doing this all the time, and I realize it. Like, I'll think of a word, I'll Google the word, I see the word, I see something underneath of it, like, hey, like, some topic about this. Okay, fuck it.
And then you'll be lost for hours at a time.
Yeah, just like YouTube, like, I find myself, like, with that media mindset. Like, you can be watching a YouTube video, kind of hear that it's kind of just filler for time, and then I'll just double tap on the side until something interesting comes up.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
I do that on Netflix, too, now.
I know, I caught myself the other day double tapping, like, X, because I use a PlayStation 1, watch Netflix, and getting angry when all I did was pause it because I wanted it to skip 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Actually, Netflix just updated it to do that.
Does it?
Yeah.
What button do you press? Because
you just double tap the side.
Oof.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It
like,
sounds amazing.
And I think, like, just like nicotine awareness, like, they did great on it. I'm not going to harp them. I think their vaping commercials are a little gay. Okay.
Right.
But, like, what they're doing is important, but they need to start doing that with screen time. And everyone's going to be like, oh, well, it's just a screen. But, like, it actually has ramifications. Not only your mindset and stuff like that, but also to a lesser extent, because the mindset's probably the biggest fucking thing that's affecting people, is just looking at shit for hours and hours. I'll catch myself not blink, or I'll have to put on my light filtering glasses.
Right.
Because, like, like, my eyes will come out bloodshot, and I'll just be like, oh shit, like...
I think a lot of that comes from people... Can we talk about YouTube design for a second?
Yeah.
All these newer videos, those cash grab clickbait videos, you know what I'm talking about? The first minute of the video is them rambling about nothing that has to do with anything.
Yeah.
Or some super long intro that nobody cares about. Everybody just skips.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why...
That's how they get their time, though.
That's how they get their time, because the whole algorithm is based off of minutes watched. And I think YouTube added that 10-second skip just to get those people off there.
Yeah.
Because it's awful. It's honestly awful.
Yeah, like, who does it? Who drops the stuff?
What do you mean?
They drop like the giant dart on the refrigerator.
Oh, yeah. How ridiculous.
How ridiculous, yeah.
They're bad at it. And I guarantee you, if they had a thing where it showed the actual part of the video that was watched, of that 15-minute video, the last 5 minutes are the part everyone watches.
Yeah.
Because that's when what's in the title happens. That's what you went there for. And that's when it happens. And that's the only thing you want to see.
Yeah.
I don't care about you driving there, setting it up, and looking at a kangaroo for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to the Australians.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah, but back in the day, like, it was just, what was it? It was just views, I believe, right?
Right, it was just views.
And, like, Charlie bit my finger. It fucking goes straight into Charlie getting his fucking finger bitten.
Exactly. That's how they all work. Nowadays, and also based off of everyone's addiction to the media, that'll stop people from watching. If they go in and they see that they're rambling about something it doesn't do, I guarantee you a lot of people just click off because they'll find something where it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And at least if you're going to do that or you have a need for it, which some channels do have a need for that,
Mm-hmm.
you don't skip it because it makes sense to get the context
like
from it.
most science ones, they'll explain like
Right.
what's happening, why they're doing it.
And they don't drag it on for a long time.
Yeah.
They'll get right to the point. They'll get through it as fast as they can and get to the part everyone wants to see.
Yeah.
That's how it needs to be done.
God.
You know, now we just jinx ourselves. We can't put anything. We just gotta jump right into this now.
Yeah.
Everyone will be like, well, "You guys are fucking liars."
We'll have like a 40-minute explanation. Okay, so we're talking about Juuling, and then it changes.
Today we're gonna talk about Juuling. I don't really know what it is. Honestly, it's
I've only been doing it for 2 years, so
apparently it's an epidemic.
It's cannabis chaos.
No, but I really think that if a lot of people just stopped doing that, it would be a lot easier. And I don't understand YouTube's algorithm. You watch one video on some weird subject that you weren't even that interested in, and all of a sudden that's all you get.
Yeah, I think interesting shit that happens though too is like, so you never really have to work for anything anymore.
Right.
So I want to say, I don't have any evidence. I'm sure someone has fucking evidence that like, so we don't work for anything. Like
Right.
we don't work for any of our gratification, which makes it feel like you'll feel the gratification, but you won't really feel it. It's like smoking.
Right.
Like you want to keep doing it. You do it more and more and more, but real gratification comes from like hard work.
Right.
Which is what you fucking learn. Like,
Which,
you go to university, you're like, okay, well, high school, I could just spark notes everything. College, you're like, shit, I'm out in the water.
This is actually terrifying.
Yeah, I actually have to understand the concept.
You actually have to know what you're doing and what you're getting into every time.
Every single time.
Because every class builds off the last one.
Like, yeah, like English, I know it's a blow-off class.
Right.
Like, I'll write a paper, I'll do the work, and it won't be long.
It won't mean anything.
Yeah, but it's still, you had to put in the work. And then if I don't check it through Grammarly, I don't go to the writing center, I don't get a good grade.
Right.
It's all about the effort that you're going to put into it. My first paper was like a low B, and he said if the topic wasn't so interesting, because it was actually something I was interested in, it was my personal narrative. It's like, if the topic wasn't so interesting, he's like, it would be a C. No question. He's like, but since you wrote it like eloquently, he's like, I'll overlook grammatical errors. If I took it to the writing center, I could have got an A on it.
Right.
No question.
It's all about the effort you're willing to put in. And nowadays, no one puts in any effort because you don't have to.
You don't have to, yeah.
There's no effort needed.
Like,
and then people end up getting into colleges while they've been at some small town high school where they had to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And they passed and they have a great grades and they're like, well, I'll go to college. And then all of a sudden, it's real.
Yeah.
You have to put in effort. You have to know what you're doing. And I see a lot of people struggling because they don't know how to do anything. And even I never struggled in anything. I never tried. But I knew how to at least put in effort, I guess, from the way I was raised or something. But it's not that hard to put in effort. The gratification outweighs the effort you put in.
Yeah.
It seems like a waste of time, but it really isn't.
Yeah, I remember my brother gave me, like, the talk before. He's like, okay, you're going to college. And I was like, okay, cool, sex and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And the first thing he says is, like, you're good at what you do. You're smart. He's like, you can bullshit your way through things. He's like, you can actually talk your way through things because you know stuff. but he says, if you're in a class and you don't know what you're doing, he's like, you're gonna have to try.
Right.
And he's like, and if you know in a class and you know what you're doing, he's like, you're still gonna have to try. He's like, nothing in this thing is just gonna be on how smart you are.
Right.
He's like, unless you're a savant with math, he's like, you're gonna have to apply yourself, and you're gonna have to actually put in like hours of study and hours of work.
Everything's gonna be effort.
Yeah, and I think
you just signed up for 4 years of hell.
Yeah, I want to check. Actually, have
college graduation rates decreased? I mean, they should be, right?
Yeah. It says they're actually increasing,
but that's probably.
But it ignores up to 50% of all enrolled students, because some students won't be registered as students necessarily until because like if they drop in the beginning, they're just done.
Not a student.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I've heard a lot that if you can make it through your first freshman year, then you'll graduate. Mm-hmm. It's that huge percentage comes from those people who don't make it, who literally cannot do it.
Yeah, they literally don't have the drive.
Which is fine. You can make a living.
Like, college is not for everyone.
You know, honestly, at this point, so many people go to college. Like, that's the normal thing to do now. Mm-hmm. That it's actually becoming harder to find those non-college jobs because everyone is overqualified for everything.
Yeah. And it says only 54.8% of students graduate within 6 years.
Right.
And that's, I'm assuming, for an undergraduate degree.
It could be master's with a 6 year.
Yeah, but I don't think they do a master's. And especially, speaking on effort and stuff, like, I was looking up for chemical engineering. Like, they said you need, for a senior chemical engineering position, you need 7 years of experience. And they say a master's degree counts as 1 year of experience.
Right.
If that. So you could work 2 years on a master's, still get 1 year of experience. But if you're actually out there putting in work and doing what you're doing, that outweighs any type of master's degree.
Right. I mean, honestly, having experience is better than college.
That is true. Like, in almost any setting. I mean, you won't get, like, a decent job straight out of college.
No, but that kind of crap job will give you experience so you can get a decent job right out of college.
If you put in the work and time and stuff.
Right. Life sucks.
It's scary. It's scary.
Sometimes I wish I was born in the primal age, where all I had to do was get up, go kill something, probably almost die 4 times a day, and then go home and play the snake and cave dance with my wife. You know. It's but nowadays, you know, there's so many more. That's the other thing. It's technology and society has evolved, but our bodies are still physically the same as they were thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
So we're just monkeys who figured it out, I guess.
Okay. Here's what I was talking about. Okay, so I read this in English class, which is my blow-off class that I've actually been applying myself in.
Good for you.
It's actually really interesting.
You should try that with your other classes that you need to take.
All right, so basically, is Google making us stupid by... Shit, I can't find his name.
Yeah, you can find it, but I think I've read the article. It's all about how people...
Nicholas Carr, yeah.
People can...
appear smart.
You could, yeah. If you have your phone out, if you have an Apple Watch...
Yeah.
Well, let me just Google that.
Well, he says, and then, like, I'm paraphrasing him.
Right.
Please don't sue me. I used to find myself, like, scuba diving or something, deep sea diving into the ocean of knowledge, and now I find myself jet skiing across the top.
Right.
Because everything's, like, superficial knowledge. Like, I can say, oh, like, what's the square root of pi? I'll Google it. I'll remember it for a few seconds. That doesn't mean I know it. That doesn't mean how I know how to get it. It just means I know the number right now.
Right. It's like if you think of all the knowledge in the world as a big target, right? It used to be that we'd all shoot our shotguns at it and cover as much of that target as we could, so we knew it all. Now everyone has a sniper rifle. You can pick out the exact part of this target you want and hit it immediately. You get it, you're done. You don't need anything else. You don't need the other knowledge. You need no build up for anything. Everything can just be given to you right away. Why are you looking up the square root of pi?
I saw the square root of pi, and it's 1.772453, right? And I was wondering if it was e, like the numerical constant.
It's not. E is just...
But e's 2.7. I was thinking 1.7. But e's for logarithmic equations. Or natural logs.
I don't like e. I understand it. I get how it works. I think it's stupid. It's just a curve.
Cool. It's almost integral for later calculus.
Exponential. Exponentially building off each other. If you have 2, then you have 4, then you'll have 8, then you'll have 16. Everything gets bigger and bigger, faster and faster.
32,
Everything doubles.
64, 128.
Right, and that's only like 5 steps. And then you think about it, you get into the millions where it's almost indistinguishable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's doubling every time. It's terrifying.
God, almost like our debt. Fuck.
It's like ants.
It's like ants.
You find one ant. Tomorrow you're gonna find 10.
Or like nanotechnology. What did Exervia say?
Oh,
it's like you make one, it makes 2.
Right.
Next thing you know, by the end of next week, the entire like known universe is created with them.
Yeah, everything is. The nanotechnology ate everything and turned it into itself.
Which is terrifying.
I did like how the concept of the singularity, how technology is increasing at that rate too. So in a couple 100 years, we could be at a point where technology is increasing so fast, we have no idea what's coming next because it's just so far ahead.
Yeah, it's further ahead than what we can perceive.
Right.
And that's why he says, like, we start with biology, we move to technology, and then we move to godhood, basically.
Right, and we'll be a god within a week. That's the thing, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I guarantee you it'll be everything that's going to happen, the next big thing. Like they talked about the first big thing was society, right? And then I guess our generation, the big thing would be the internet.
Yeah.
Because I remember when the internet wasn't a thing. I was a kid.
It wasn't big. Yeah, like you would look up, what was it? Just a cheat code site.
Yeah, cheat code sites. And that's what the internet was for.
That's all it was. Like, and I remember playing World of Warcraft on our old desktop and just being like, wow, this is incredible, but like everything's slow. Next thing you know, I'm playing on a $1,000 rig.
Right.
And fucking going 400, or I guess in WoW is only like 180 frames per second.
Right, but still, it's insane how fast things multiply. You think 20 years ago, a laptop was built like a brick,
yeah,
and the battery died in 20 minutes. My laptop has an 8-hour battery, and it's slim, and I can do...
Yeah, whatever you want.
My laptop now has like 5 times the computing power of the computers they use to send people to the moon.
No, people they sent to the moon, I think, back in the day was... Wasn't it like equivalent to a calculator?
Yeah, it's equivalent to a calculator.
I mean, yours has a 1060 in it, which means it's going to be pushing... Like, you can do shit that desktops, like, 10 years ago or 5 years ago couldn't even do.
I know, it's insane. My parents still have that old desktop tower, and they were complaining to me about how slow it is and how it doesn't work. And I said, you just notice it now. I said it was always that speed. It's just now you have your phone. You pull out your phone, and you can do everything on your phone you could do on that computer.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, you have this old but newer laptop, and you've been using that, and you're complaining about that. And they're like, yeah, because it's slow. And I'm like, that's because you're using a phone for everything now.
Yeah, and...
I was like, if you want things to be fast, you need to go buy the newest iPad. You need to go buy a...
I wonder, though, if it's not only that, but, like, let's say how Google's ran now. Like, it's more complex with the algorithm. I wonder if that affects, like, with the CPU processing power.
It definitely does.
But, I mean,
I don't... I'm pretty sure it runs on Windows Vista.
Yeah. So...
It can't handle anything.
It can't handle anything.
I remember it... when I was a kid, the last thing I used it for was when I was probably 10 or 11, I used it to play Minecraft. Right? And I remember it came to a point where it couldn't run Minecraft anymore because I couldn't get the Adobe update anymore. Like, it could no longer support Adobe because Adobe was too big for it.
Dude, that is insane.
Windows Vista is 32-bit.
Oh, it also has 64-bit.
It does. I'm pretty sure the computer I was using, it was a 32-bit. It was a Dell. It's a tower, and it was junk. But it was fun.
Yeah, like, do you remember pinball on the computer?
Yeah, pinball. It had pinball. It has Minesweeper and Solitaire. There's games like that.
Dude, I miss being able to concentrate on shit like that. Yeah.
I want to put it. Have you played Solitaire on, like, updated Windows?
No.
It's insane. It's honestly insane. There is a girl who sits in front of me at class and plays Solitaire. It's got quest, challenges.
Shit.
It's Solitaire. It's got different games of Solitaire built into it. It's insane.
Because it has to keep you interested.
It has to keep you interested nowadays. It has to try and compete. People used to play Minesweeper because that's what there was.
Yeah.
You played Minesweeper, you played pinball, and pinball was loud.
Yeah, like, I used to play, like, whenever I played World of Warcraft, I would always make a new character so I could level him up, and then spend, like, let's say 3 weeks gearing him up, only log on to my main to do raids with the guild, get other people up, and then afterwards I'm like, I don't have anything to do.
So you just make another character.
Yeah, and then I'd play, like, let's say Destiny. I remember the first one I got to max light in, like, 3 weeks, because I leveled up 3 different characters, all the same class, got them all the way up, all 3 of them were at top light level, grinded out every single exotic, and then made another type of character, made 2 of them, got them all the way up. And it's like, you always have something throughout the week to do.
Right.
That's the only way you're going to keep someone interested, is if they have something to do.
Right. I think, and a lot of those crappy mobile games, you know what I'm talking about? You know I'm talking about Ryan Reynolds? You know what I'm talking about, Ryan Reynolds. Nobody's going to play that crap.
I don't know. I was interested because of...
It's just because it's Ryan Reynolds.
It's Ryan Reynolds.
But those games, like even like Candy Crush, those games, you can play them for a little bit, but there's no real value in it. Yeah. And then they get so difficult so quickly, and they're like, here, you could either pay money, which 90% of people aren't going to do.
Yeah.
That's for those 10% of people who will pay money. That's what the entire game's for. Yeah. Is that 10% of people who will pay the money and keep playing it because I guess you have money to burn? I don't know.
Because my dad plays Crafty Candy.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I've never spent a dime on this game. And then I ended up watching him at level 1,700 and something. He's like, yeah, I just spent $1. And he was so pissed off. Next thing you know, my mom's like, hey, Mike, just spent $30 on Apple this week? And he's like, yeah, the fucking bitches are tearing me apart.
That's the dream, right?
That's the dream.
You can spend money on crappy phone games for no reason.
Jesus. Oh, man. Well, I guess that was a pretty good podcast. I think we got...
How long is it?
I think it's 48 minutes.
Well, I guess we'll
sign off?
Well, we should try and come up with a schedule. How about we release one every 2 weeks, because I feel like that's about as fast as we're going to be able to do this.
Yeah, I guess so.
Don't expect anything, ever.
Yeah, I mean, expecting anything is just expecting gratification, so
right.
We already talked about that.
So, I guess the real question is, are you going to quit smoking after this podcast?
No. What about you?
No, I think I'll keep it.
Actually, I don't know what life's going to throw at me, so I might stop.
I might stop tomorrow if I get shot. Hit by a bus. That'll probably stop me.
Or if we get hit in front of.
I'll tell you what, if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, put the jewel in my casket, you never know if I'm going to wake up.
Alright, sounds like a deal. Alright. Well, see you guys in 2 weeks, hopefully.
3 months later.
Alright, bye.